Welcome everyone to yet another Elite Crazyhouse arena. Today's time control will be 3+2 and we are starting 2 hours later than usual since the titled arena is being held today, and therefore we are on 11 p.m. Central European Summertime instead of 9. And
10, 9, 8, 7,
probably expect
6,
some players
5,
of the
4,
titles
3,
arena also
2, 1, 0
to join us. Maybe it would be fun to see some titled players join. Alright, first game we have black against rapid variants. A guy I tend to struggle against. Let's see if we can survive the opening against him. He's a very active player and he knows active in the sense of playing a lot. So he's probably up to date on most of the lines. Alright, bishop e2. Normally the bishop is on d3, so this counts as a, well, let's see what the idea is here. Maybe he's just developing a bit slower. But alright, let's try this. Looking at c3. And with the bishop on e2, taking on c3 will be a bit more forcing than with the bishop on d3. Alright, if I play bishop e7, he will probably play knight at h5, so let's try to delay that and go knight f5. Try to be original. And bishop d7, maybe bishop c6, rook b8, a6, bishop b5, also possible. Just preserving the bishop on f8 for now, covering g7, because in these kind of structures, you usually g7, f6 is the point where black will get pressured. Okay, now he's trying to get in on my weak square anyway. Knight f5 comes to mind. Gives up a pawn, but then bishop c6 is okay, I guess. But he can also sacrifice. Let's just go knight f5 and accept the sacrifice. Maybe the queen takes e4 also comes. It's looking risky, this. I tried something new here with knight e7, but I feel like I'm being punished immediately. I'll have to take the queen, take him up on his challenge. And then see how it goes. Could go here. Could also just run back to f7. e8 I mean. Pawn at f7, then king e7. And block on d6. I've allowed knight at g8. That's going to be too much, I feel. I think if he plays knight at g8, I can resign. I have to take it. He promotes to another knight. And then he takes on b7, for example. But alright, I'll play the quick moves. Okay, he goes with the queen. Ah, that's even stronger, rook at f7. Okay. The concept failed with the knight kiting back to e7. Well, we've got the first loss out of the way, so now we can start getting good games in, I hope. Now, I always have a hard time against rapid variants. I believe I lost the last 7 games against him or something like that. Let's see, we've got... Right, 19 players so far. A few already on pause, but... Mariarton, Mugwort and rapid variants will probably be the top contenders in the first few games. And we're going to play Maximus Carlsen. I believe Carlsen did not manage to win today's titled arena. If I or a miracle must had happened in the last few rounds, but Ali Reza was performing very well. Okay, but this is Crazyhouse. I don't know if Carlsen plays Crazyhouse, but we are getting a very comfortable opening here. The usual tricks, knight at g7, winning the piece there. That's huge. And now even he can't take it because knight at e7, another fork. So yeah, this should be a game over very quickly. Let's go bishop here. Look at c7. If he takes with the king, queen at d6 is made, and otherwise I keep on pressuring c7. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, up next. Starting with d4, knight c3, and early bishop b4. Okay, let's go a6. Because knight b5 is a bit annoying, and also bishop b5 is annoying in these lines. But it does slow down my play a bit. So I have to be careful. Okay, he plays it safe. I think bishop at g3 was also a nice choice, and then maybe some sacrifice on d6 or something. But he is opting to go for knight e5, which I guess is also perfectly fine. And now you see the benefit of the move a6, because the queen can't come to b5, for example. But my opponent here will have some momentum going for him. I was thinking he probably take and go some knight at h5 and threaten some stuff on an f6. Alright, now I'll have to figure out how to proceed here. I don't know if I want to develop this bishop and allow any knight at h5. Probably not. So let's just trade on c3 and go knight at e4 back. And preserve the option of taking c3 again. This knight covers g5 and f6, that's also useful. And okay, probably is trying to figure out a way to either sacrifice this pawn in an active way, or to harass this knight. Firstly covering this pawn and then harass this knight away with f3. For example, bishop at e1 would be a useful move. Okay, he opts for bishop at d4. Also reasonable. But now I get knight at e6 in, and maybe can trade one of these bishops whenever it suits me. Okay. I'm happy to take this trade, because now this bishop is looking at g2, and there might be some resources here. And even if there aren't any, the bishop at d5 is winning a tempo here. So he has a lot more stuff in the bank. But I will try now to stay active so that he cannot use these pieces. And queen e2 probably is the safest move. Queen a4, probably just b5. Okay, he goes queen d3. Now I can take a bishop and go bishop at c4, winning the rook. Yeah, let's just go for that. The bishops are also covering, so there shouldn't be any problems for me on my king. Let's just take the rook and go pawn at e2. Yes, I was just checking if a bishop here would take it, but a6 is still proven it's worth there. Okay, maybe queen takes f5 should be taken into account. Okay, so let's just be solid, go bishop e6, open up the queen, and then try to attack with the rooks on the back rank. Okay, this seems, queen takes d4 seems like a free move. Threatening mate in 2. Queen takes f2 and rook at g1. Okay, he misses the threat. Yeah, that's an example of taking advantage of the bishop on d4, and probably queen e2 was a bit more safe now that his back rank became vulnerable. So therefore I would have played bishop at e1 myself, a bit more safe. I think the opening went okay for my opponent there. Okay, Vector Veld beat me the last 2 games we played, so I have to be careful. He knows what he's doing. Let's go knight f6 d5 this game and take the early trade. And knight at e3 is a common way of playing this. And knight f3 d4 are usually the follow-up moves. And black tries to stay active with his queen, and white tries to deny that. Maybe some knight c4, IDs knight f3, knight c4, something like that could occur here. And if white plays precise here, you will have an advantage. Most likely, but well, it could go wrong easily with this knight on e3 blocking the bishop, for example. So it's not on the natural square, but it's doing a good job now. But sometime in the future you have to move it, for example here, or to c4 as I mentioned before. Okay, now I see an opportunity here to sacrifice a pawn. If he takes, I'll take back, and then he will take with the queen most likely, and then I've sacrificed the pawn, but then I'll have two knights in hand and possibilities for very active play. Okay, now he loses the queen and the fork. So he should have had accepted the sacrifice there or not put his queen in this fork. This is looking very good for black. Queen at f3, for example, is a huge threat here. I'm still thinking about going for it and just leaving the queen there, but that might be a bit too greedy. So let's just go queen f4, threatening queen f3 with the queen on the board instead of the queen in hand. And also threatening queen takes f2 with threats on e1. And sure, queen at f3 like this, and something like this, knight takes d6. Accepting that would have been fine probably for me as well, but this is just safer and looks more convincing to me as well. And my opponent agrees and decides to resign and take his chances in the next game. And off to an early lead here. Rapid variance is paused. Maybe he wasn't able to play a lot of games. Mugwort also not starting yet. "23 players so far." And as you can see, it's actually the 53rd edition of this Crazyhouse tournament, and I believe we will have when the next update of Lichess comes out, we will have a secured spot and not having to create the tournament every week again. So it will be a bit more, how do you say, it will be a bit more regulated by Lichess and not by the initiative of the finisher every week. And that's fine. That's nice, I think. I do notice that in the when the tournament is played a few hours later, we seem to have less players joining. So I think the 9 o'clock European time is more preferable for, well, of course, the European players. But then again, that's tough for Australian players. I think it's 7 AM there now. So I guess it's fine to switch a bit. This is probably the most played opening nowadays, and also in the old days. And bishop h4 is the new main line. And here you have to know quite a bit of theory to get an advantage with white. And I'm going in this line because I'm playing a chess master here, and I don't expect him to know all the best variations. For example, if I was playing against someone like Rapid Variants, I would be a bit more reluctant to go into this variation. Okay, now I can go knight at f4, be aggressive, or I can go c6 and just cover against this threat of knight d5. I think I'll go c6. Leave my knight in hand for now, anticipating this. And for example, a common tactic here would be pawn at e2, knight takes e2, knight at f3, forking here. So that's something to watch out for. Okay, now I'll go knight at f4, blocking the bishop for any at h6 nonsense, as well as covering at g6. So he could try to trade here and put a knight on g6. That does look pretty okay, I guess, for white. Yeah, I guess that's a good way to go. Maybe I have bishop at h5 in that line. Now I get in. I think the bishop is pinning f2, so you can't take. So this should favor me. The defender is gone. The pin on this queen is gone. And next I'm getting in on f2 anyway. So maybe you have to go d4 here, block off the pin. But even then, I'm getting a hole in the position of the white king. Yeah, d4 seems sensible. But I'm trying to get the rook to move and then go bishop at e3. I could go bishop at e3 even now, making this a pin. And take the bishop. So now the king has no defenders left. Let's go knight at e4, try to get an early decision. Rook at h1 and then bishop at f2, winning the blocker. I have to check if I'm not in trouble here, but bishop takes f7, I'll just take. And there are no follow-up checks, so he has to make a few moves first before he can attack me, and then I'll already take an extra piece. King has to move here. I'll have bishop at h5, defending and attacking as well. So yeah, it's looking good for me. All right, let's repeat this once. Now if I can take this knight and go knight at g3, that will be mate. All right, 12 points so far. And there you see that that's very important to know your theory and the e4, e5 lines if you want to go down that main line. That specific main line, you have to know what you're doing. Otherwise you will be in trouble very, very quickly. Luckily if you are not that experienced in Crazyhouse, or you don't have the time, or you don't want to study openings, you don't have to play e4, e5, that main line against an e4, e5 player. Thanks for the follow, Nicolas. Alright, Mugwort. And Mugwort knows what he's doing. He's a very well prepared player. So therefore I'm going for an early knight e5 here to throw me a bit of balance. And make him spend time about something like this. And it will be good for, probably it will be good for black, or better for black, but you already see I'm now in half a minute up on the clock. Mugwort's thinking on his own here. And I feel like in the games against him, I'll need to pressure him a bit in the opening on time to try to get an advantage. Okay, let's go e3, cover the bishop. Opening up knight takes c6 again. You could try to trade, maybe. Then I'll have to take with the pawn or the bishop, probably with the pawn, or making this knight move, and then knight at h5 can come in. So maybe he'll go knight g4. Okay, he goes knight e4. I feel like this should be fine. He has no... A bishop on a5 would be a bit annoying here, so I have to create a hole here then. So it's a good thing he only has knights in hand. He has to go rook g8 here or knight f5. Both moves aren't that attractive, I'd say. Okay, now if we go bishop at f6, take. Then he has a bishop, but then I can block with the pawn because I've taken this g7 pawn. Could also go knight takes g7 and then bishop at f6. Yeah, I like that one better actually. It forces the issue. He could opt to go king d7, of course. But bishop at f6 was coming anyway. And now in this scenario he only has knights in hand, and he already had 3 knights in hand the last move, and he didn't find a useful way of putting them on the board. So now if giving an extra knight, it doesn't seem like a problem for me. And this is a bit of an issue. Of course you could play queen b8, just step aside with the queen, but allowing this rook and then rook at f8, it looks very scary. So he'll have to spend some time finding a good move here. Okay, he opts to go for the rook, and now he'll try to get bishop at b4 in to create a defense here. So let's stop that with queen at c5. And this is of course threatening to take c7. But the main goal is to stop bishop at b4. Because that was the move where his counterplay was coming from. Okay, and now I'll take the material. I can take c7. If he takes here, I can take even twice if I want. But there's also knight at d6 and queen takes d8 threats. So this is actually looking very good for white. Bishop at h4 threatening to take here, as well as covering e7. Alright. I kind of want to block here, but then he gets in on c2. But okay, I'll accept that. And And if this queen moves back, for example, the knight a knight could occur on c7, be annoying. Getting control over the light squares here. Let's just take back. Knight at b4 is met by knight at c7 and bishop at d6. And that was kind of his main idea, I guess. Let's go bishop at h6. Supporting the other bishop as well as threatening knight at c7 mate. Okay, now we have to watch out for knight at b4. So let's go knight at c6. Stops also queen a5. Trying to create an opening here. I'm looking for a mate with some stuff on c8 maybe. I'll have to be very careful here though, and not allow him back in the game. Running a bit low on time. Let's go queen c1 back. I didn't see anything. And now I have knight at c7 as a mating idea. So as long as I don't let him take the queen. Oh, knight at f7, knight at c7 is not mate. Oh, that's a bit dumb. I thought knight at c7 was mate, but knight on a8, I forgot about that one. But oh well. Now we'll have a good old-fashioned time scramble. I walked into bishop at b4. That's careless. I think Mugwort has this if he plays it correctly. I should have won this game, I feel like, but Mugwort defended very good there. Well done to Mugwort. Okay. And immediately we are playing the next game against Firehawk. Going bishop f4 first, knight b4 is then met with rook c1. He'll try to trade here and go knight e4, I expect, or try to go knight at h3. Maybe you can try to go h5, h4 here as well. And if he decides to go f6 and play it slow, I'll try to defend here. But he does not want to play it slow. Let's go knight at g5. I may have misplayed this a bit because there might be some knight takes, queen takes, and then bishop at g2. Looks dangerous to give up the queen there, but might be very strong attack with the bishop getting on f1. But alright, I don't know. the way I play this now, this bishop is actually not doing a good job. It's defending c3, but it's preventing the queen to come to f1. So I played the wrong move order here. Let's take with the knight anyway and see if he wants to sacrifice his queen. Or just take the rook first. Yeah, he goes for it. That's nice. And bishop at f1 as expected. Could go knight at f4, but it doesn't really help me, I think. Alright, let's see. He's threatening to take here and then go rook at f1, h1, bishop here, and knight at h3, check, mate. Okay, let's try to counter it. I'm threatening now queen at d7, obviously, and then taking here. So he cannot execute his mating threat now. He can castle, of course. Knight takes e7. And the threat is still the same, as I explained before, with rook at h1 coming. But I'll have to go for it, I think. And if he takes, then maybe knight e7 and knight at f4 to put up some defense. Very, very sharp game by Firehawk here. It's a very bold idea, this queen sacrifice, but it's looking very good. But he does need to play precise here. Once I clear this up, it will be good for me. I haven't tried them yet. I have to memorize them first, I think. I can try them now. I think it's clicking and saying 2 or something like that. Ah, there we go. Yeah. You see, like, I'm now pressing 2 so that I can drop a knight. That's a new feature, guys, on the server. That you can work with keyboard shortcuts that will save you some time from dragging the pieces all over the board. And the cursor changes, which is nice. This is 1 is a pawn, 3 is a bishop, 4 is a rook, and 5 is a queen. But okay, the game. Rook at h1, still the mating threat, I guess. That hasn't changed. Let's go knight e3. Covering g2, threatening to take f1. Forcing a reaction. And that cursor or that keyboard thing probably will be useful in time scrambles if you have the right control. Alright, let's take a bishop, I guess. Yes, okay. Now I get some sense of safety. Let's get the queen in. Probably rook at g1. Okay, no. Then get h4 out. He has no diagonal piece to threaten h3. Okay, and now I'm still cramped, but I have some sense of safety here. I'll need to get my bishops on the board though, defending. And the clock is playing a big part in both our moves as well. Watch out for this. I've allowed bishop takes e2, maybe. Queen takes e4, threaten cheeky mate there. This must be enough. And he is believing my attack here. I've drained all my diagonal pieces though. But I have this bishop on h6 coming in strong. And let's see, where's my mate? Knight here. Don't believe in it, but Queen d3 coming in, and that should be it. Alright, fun game. Well played, Firehawk. Good job. Exciting game, but in the end there the g7 square was too weak. Thanks hashtag bad. And thanks for the follow, Sam. Alright, cat poacher. Yeah, the Dutch seems off, indeed. And I don't have a dog, so I'm not that worried. Alright, the bishop has a nice cope here. Cat poacher went for a bit of a slower setup, not going for an early e4. So I'm trying to establish a knight on c5 to claim the e4 square. So he might go bishop f1 and e4 anyway, which is actually not that bad of an idea. He could try to trade on c5 now and go pawn at h6, but then I'll probably just trade and go rook here. Since there aren't many trades coming fast. Knight g4 next. And the bishop on f1 creates a weak square on f2, so knight g4 probably is a good move. So maybe pawn g5 or h3. Pawn g5 forces knight g4 basically, and h3 prevents knight g4. But he's taking his sweet time here. And the idea for white, an idea for white here might be to get in on e6 or f7, something like that. Okay, now he's preventing knight g4. And maybe he wants to go pawn at g6. So let's just play pawn at e5. And not e5, because that creates a weak square on f6. Okay, now I'll take a knight and go knight at f5. Securing h6 as well as pawn at g7. And now I'm being very safe with pawn at g7, but then again he doesn't have that much to go on himself, or I mean I don't have any useful entry squares with the little material I had, so therefore pawn at g7 first, getting safety, and then maybe I'll get in. Okay, let's go bishop e7. Not allow the trade and any new knight on e4. And go bishop c6. Maybe he will play knight at b4, trying to arrest this. And then the knight on b4 is a bit off. And then I'll even play bishop d7 probably. Okay, he goes knight at b7. That's a bit more forcing, because it's attacking my queen. Queen d7 or queen c7. Let's just go queen d7. Alright, he's looking at d6, but he's dropping this knight. Then he wants to take on e5. But alright, I'll sack that queen. Since I have I win some material back here. Oh, he's already resigning. The idea was knight at f3 takes, and if king h1, knight takes f2, with a new knight on h3 being checkmate. So, but he felt like the position was too good for me, for him to play on there. Alright, do we have mastertan playing? I guess that's one of the benefits of starting a bit later. Alright, Igor. No, there was no forced mate, I think. But I won a bunch of material back for the queen, but there was probably he could have played on. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, going knight h4, trying to arrest this, and maybe go e4, trying to punish this bit of a slower setup. Okay, maybe even f3 is possible. Yeah, I had some problems recently with the higher resolution, so for now I'm just going with this one. And since it's chess, I think it should be okay. But you're right, it could be higher. But last Wednesday, I believe, my computer did not like what I was doing with the higher resolution, so therefore I put it down a bit, and now the stream seems fine. But I'll try to I'll try to get it up a bit in the future and try to find the perfect settings for my computer. But for now, I just I tested this, and I wanted to run it, at least run it smoothly during this tournament. So the quality might be a bit off screen-wise, but at least you should be able to follow it. Okay, let's see what we've got here. He's going to go pawn at g7 next. I guess I can't do much about that. So let's just take the rook and go knight at c7. Yeah, I feel like I missed something here, and maybe you're referring to that, but I feel like I had a better move here somewhere, but oh well. Not going for the bishop here, because then knight at f4 might be strong, probably is. So just trying to counter. He might leave this bishop unattended as well. Yes. Let's put a rook here, fork, and defend f3. Expecting bishop f6 back, or drop a piece here on f6. But yeah, I guess I can take it with the pawn then. Okay, he sacrifices his queen. If I take, he wants to get in on g3. But there are no knight entry squares where my king is on g3. So I think I can take this. And he has to watch out for queen at e8 stuff. So I'll just take everything, I guess. I think I'll start with the rook on e8. And then move back somehow. One of the issues is that I can take on f8 and then take the defender with check. And then he has no defenders left, and it probably should be mate. And Igor is not waiting for that to happen, so he decides to resign. Alright, Mugwort also getting close. Probably, yeah, it looks like he has mate on the board, so we both on 20 points. So probably gonna play Mugwort again. Yeah, there we go. And now he has the white pieces. Let's go a6, e6, and d5. a6 is designed against an early bishop b5, trying to stop that. And this is a bit more normal, the bishop being on d3 instead of bishop e2 in the earlier game against rapid variants. And now you can think about taking and go knight g5, or just go bishop d2 and defend it. Probably castles. And this is usually a tough position to play. Okay, he goes rook b1, that's interesting. Allowing knight takes f2 and pawn at e4. Which I'm considering now. But it also allows rook f1 after and just king g1, so it might not be that good. Could also go knight takes c3 and pawn at e4. Let's just do that. Bishop is now gone from g5. That's helpful, I think. For example, castle takes knight at g5. Looks fine for black. Leaving the bishop on these squares, defending b7 and g7. Knight at h5, for example, is always very annoying in these lines. So I'm trying to find an active solution here to my opening problems. I guess you could call them problems. Okay, let's go knight at e4 again. Let's see if he wants to trade. Trying to stay active here. Maybe bishop at b4 next, or just bishop at g6. Defending here. Yeah, that's a good move. The idea is to go knight at f6 and then make me give up my queen. So therefore queen g5. If knight at f6 takes and the king can run to d8. d5 will come in very strong though. But on the other hand, I'm threatening to take g2. So, okay, not that easy. And it decides to go knight at g3. Threatening to take here. As well as h4 stuff, so let's just go e3. It's kind of an all-in move. I don't know all the consequences here, but I'm just trying to break open the position. And castles take bishop at e3 seems alright. And of course this is also fine for black, so forcing Mugwort here to find something that's better for him. Okay, he decides to go for this. That's interesting. I felt like this should be okay for me. King h1 seems safe, but well, it probably is safe, but at least I'll have some play then. Going with bishop at d5. Looking over here. I'm trying to make pawn at h3 work, but I guess he can just take here. So let's just take a2. Yeah, it would be interesting. Nice suggestion, Martin. Alright, knight at f6. Coming in strong. If I take once, then I'll have a knight to work with. But he also gets options. But I think I'll take once and then go king d8, d5 is probably a good move here. Okay, he goes after my queen. Queen h4, I guess. And there we have d5. He was preventing rook at c1. Let's see. I'll have to play something here. Let's go pawn at d7. It's far from ideal, this, but yes, it's this is bad. This is mate. Well done, Mugwort. My counterplay was a bit too easy for him to fence off there. So 2-0 for him. Let's try to bounce back. We've played an hour so far, and Mugwort is on 24. Well, not today, because it's when this tournament ends. It will be 1 a.m. already, so I will take my leave then. Okay, let's get in. I'm berserking, so I should be aggressive. Trying to get in desperately here. Okay, winning material. And pawn at d6 will be annoying next move. Okay, he's trying to take my knight, so that's fine. Bishop is covering here. Threatening the queen. Okay, I'll take. Threatening mate. And this is okay. I'm berserking, so that's the only factor here. I have to play fast, but it's looking very good for me. Knight c7 maybe next. Maybe some rook takes c8. Rook takes c8, threatening knight at the e8 mate. Knight at e6, I mean. Okay, and this is looking very good. Knight at f7. Okay. Bouncing back there from the loss against Mugwort. Maybe try in this last hour, this second hour, maybe try to risk a bit more, berserking some games. And you also see mastertan is on berserk only, so it's also coming for us. Thanks, Martin. Alright, Maximus Carlsen. Let's go Berserk again. And he Berserk backed. Okay, that's always nice. It's of course not obligate to Berserk back, but it's always nice when people do. Okay, this gives me a chance to disrupt his pawns here and forcing the win of 1. Okay, let's go knight e5. If he trades, d5 becomes available. Bishop at g4, forcing a knight blocker, which is not ideal. Harassing it even more and maybe go e5. Bishop at f7. It's 2100, 2105, something like that. For people who don't knowing what KNSB is, that's the Dutch rating system. Okay, let's just give up this knight and try to open up the position. Then pawn at d7 comes if he takes back the bishop. And I'll try to get in on e7 or something like that. Okay, time is becoming important factor. So let's pressurize. Watch out for mate in 1. Ah, too slow. Got him just in time. 0.3 left, okay. That's an important one. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's not that important to me if I'm in the top thousands of the Netherlands, but probably it is, yeah. All right. So it looks like it's gonna be between mastertan, Mugwort, and myself here. After 1 hour and 10 minutes of play, we all are in the 20 points, and the rest of the field is lagging behind a bit. Mari Orton is also playing now. Ray Kastrov, a few of the usual suspects there. But as you can see, it's taken a while to get me a game in, so that signals to me that the arena is not that stacked. System is maybe waiting for mastertan or Mugwort to finish. Yeah, there we go, we get paired. Right, mastertan. going for the berserk. Let's not berserk back. No. Probably in December I will play an OTB tournament in Groningen, the chess festival. If you live in the Netherlands, you probably are familiar with it. But I won't play any of the summer tournaments. Maybe get pawn at g3 in here. Okay, he's not allowing it. Playing a bit of a passive game here. Maybe a bit too passive. Okay, let's take the bishop, so I can play bishop at a5, covering c7, but still knight at d6 is annoying. So let's just put a pawn on c7. Expecting knight at c4, yes. Probably see a trade or something. Maybe he will go for knight at d6. Okay, he decides against it. And still looking a bit shaky around my king. Let's just go pawn at h6. Not allowing any queen d8 stuff later on. I'll take that. Knight takes g5. Okay, he takes with the pawn. Probably wants to go in on g6, so therefore I was expecting knight g5. Don't know if inviting c3 is the best choice there for me. Probably not. But I'm just trying to keep it safe and sort of punish the berserk by mastertan. Let's just go with the bishop. Getting knight at f4. Okay, now I'm getting my pieces in. Pawn e2. Forcing the issue a bit. Getting a rook. Okay, this is looking good. Knight takes. Pawn at g2 becomes available, so I've solved this problem here. And there we go. And mate. Right, 30 points. And as I said before, berserking back is not necessary. And I used that against mastertan to get a better position here in the tournament situation. Right, let's keep on taking risks against these 2200 strength players. And one of these games, this will come back to bite me. But for now, it's going okay. If you remember that game against Maximus Carlsen, that was just 0.3 left. So probably I'm gonna get flagged one of these games. But until that happens, I will probably keep on trying. Just getting safe here. Trying to trade a knight and get a knight in on f4. Yes, and I'll sacrifice the knight on c6 to use a pawn on e3. Alright, he's not accepting my sacrifice. So let's go king h8, seems like a useful move. And just wait what he wants to do. Not overthink this. Right, now I think it's time to take. You might go knight takes e5 here. Or bishop takes e5. Either way wins a pawn. But he decides against it. So let's quickly eliminate any possibilities of him taking. Okay, now it feels like I should be able to get a dent here in the on the dark squares. Alright, I'll sack the queen. Because I feel like I'm safe. Threatening pawn at h2 and rook at g1. Mating. I need to cover f4. That's a very important part of my plan here. And there are no mates, or at least I don't see them for white. So okay, now I'll give up f4 since pawn at h2 was a possibility. Okay, let's just go for this. If he takes, I can take back and have knight at f1 in the end, winning the queen, while still being safe. Okay, let's win another queen. Oh yes, definitely, Martin. I think the playing on intuition suits me very well. And you need to play on intuition in Crazyhouse because you don't have time to overthink every move. There's so many possibilities. Okay, mate is coming on f4. If you took g3, it was also mate there. Okay, so 35 points. Not that I know of, Martin. But maybe there will be in the future. There are some Dutch players on Lead Chess. Maybe we'll someday organize something. Would be nice to get a match or a tournament going. Yeah, with the guys at my chess club, I play sometimes Crazyhouse, but not really in a tournament setting, just casual games. Alright, let's go for a quick knight e5 again. I feel like in the last game Mugwort didn't really know how to react properly. So will he go for bishop d6 again, or will he trade immediately? That's a bit of the question right now. He trades immediately. Okay, knight e4. And he's saying, okay, if you trade, I'll have the benefit of this open file. Yeah, I think it's a big part of the game. The reason, for example, why one of the reasons why Jan Lee is so good, it's not pure calculation, it's just knowing when to defend and when to attack, the feeling for the game and how the piece drops work. And you can't calculate that all. You just don't have the time for that. Even if you play like 5+5 or 10+10 or slower time controls even. Right, knight takes, bishop e3. Don't like knight that d5 then. Can take, castle. Also not ideal. Good castle now. That's just castle. Feel like the opening the d file is not in my not to my advantage here. And for example, if knight at h3, I'll take and go knight at f4. Seems okay for white. Maybe he'll go bishop at g4. Probably he will go bishop at g4. Yeah, it's like how you play in Bulletin, indeed, yeah. Okay. I think I have to throw in bishop at a4 at some stage. I feel like to disrupt his play. c6, then knight at c7 might be available. Okay, now I'm thinking about knight takes e4 and knight takes e6. Opening up the bishop. Okay, let's see. Knight takes, take e6. Could go rook at d1, but then knight at c7 surely. Okay, that doesn't work. Knight at h3 maybe. Probably also doesn't work, so let's just go for this. Knight at c7, king e7, pawn d6 forces the king to d7, so any default threats are then bogus. And next I can take g5. Yeah, I think chess 960 is it's popular. It's growing quicker because it's just the main reason probably is because it's easier. It's still the same chess rules, so it's easier to learn for people. Okay, let's go bishop at h3. Some safety threatening here, and then take the rook maybe. Maybe even bishop b3 back. The bishop isn't doing anything on a4. Just to create some threats there. But maybe we'll try something like this. Okay, this is fine for white, I believe. I don't believe he can get away with sacrificing his queen here. So now I've established some safety around my king, which will be important in the coming time trouble. And this rook d1 move is a bit disruptive because there are no good blocking squares. Since d5 I can just take, and d6 I can also take. So, and d3 I can also take. Then take here. Maybe play e3. Okay, this is looking very good for me. And almost mating. King a6 runs into knight at c7. King c5 may have been... I didn't see the mate directly, but probably knight d7 is good enough there. And pawn c3 or something like that. Okay. That's an important victory, beating Mugwort. So 2-1 against him in this tournament, and it's a good timing. A little over half an hour left. Probably going to play mastertan again. We played before, Martin. What's your nickname on Lee Chess? Maybe I'll remember. That's a good score. Okay, not mastertan, but speed razor. Let's go d5. Let's not go the bishop b4 line. Okay, now I'll go bishop at b4 because this always is a bit awkward for white. You have to know how to deal with this. I think bishop at g5 is one of the ways. Alright. Knight takes knight here. Pressing the queen, maybe knight takes d4. Just sidestepping. Maybe you can go for bishop d3 here and sacrificing the queen. Okay, this way he sacks the queen. This is nice. Took me a while to find that. But the knight is very important. He can try to arrest my queen with knight f4, but then just queen f5. And next I'll try to go knight c3, clear some of the defenders. Bishop d3 maybe. Taking pawns. forking the rook. So maybe queen d1 is already enough here, but let's just go bishop takes e6 first. And now, okay, now queen d1 is definitely enough. You have to block with a piece on e1, then I'll take this rook with this queen, or even with this queen, doesn't even matter. And then rook at f1 is made. Or even queen f1. Alright, but mastertan also keeps winning. And Mugwort usually doesn't like to berserk, so he's lagging a bit behind. Those big batches of 3-3-5, that's and you play faster because you are berserking and you get more points if you win, so it will be very tough to bounce back from that. Alright, we have mastertan. Again, he's berserking. Let's go h3 here. I'm already looking at some pawn at e5 stuff, but nothing so far. Maybe I've allowed bishop takes g3 there, but okay. He doesn't go for it, so I get some safety. I want to go knight at e3. Let's just go for it. Maybe he goes knight e7. Yes. Now I'll try to get this bishop. And he'll probably sacrifice his bishop on g3. But I've managed to create some holes in this position. Already an unbalanced position here. Bishop takes g3 probably. He has to watch out though. Knight at h6, pawn at g7, knight takes f5. It's looking very strong. So probably he missed that going in this variation. Okay, I feel like a queen trade should be fine for me. Let's go bishop at c4, cover e2. I'm trying to be aggressive here. Knight d5. If he takes, I'll go bishop takes h6. The knight is still hanging basically, because knight takes f6 was also a threat. And this bishop is now covering f3 and g2 as well. Threatening takes h6 and knight at e7 here. Okay, let's just take the free piece. He can't take back. Knight at f5 wins. Let's just be safe at home. Yeah, I've already talked about it with a friend of my chess club, so maybe we'll get something going during the chess festival, but I'll of course announce that if it's going to happen. And I'm not threatening devastating stuff on g7. He still is still able to defend it, but it's just very annoying for him to deal with. Knight at e7 should be sufficient. Threatening mate, or take the rook with check. Rook at g8 forces king takes, queen at g7 was made there. Okay. Thanks, Martin. Okay, 48 points and on streak. Mastertan on 42. Mugwort still on 26, probably has a long game going. And then Mugwort on 21. And Firehawk on 12, so it's probably gonna be between Mastertan and myself. Thanks for the follow, Flo the roll. So let's see who we get paired with. This has been my I'm on a good performance so far. Only lost against Mugwort twice and Rapid Variants, who isn't competing the whole tournament. Let's see. A lot of players have passed already, so therefore it's probably taking a while to get me a pairing. Alright, there we go. Let's see. I usually tend to have very long games against this player. It's a very tight player. Okay, let's go a6, not allow bishop e5. He goes a3 as well. Okay, so I've okay development here, I guess. He's playing it very safe. And he will try to get a c4 in, I guess. Let's see. Let's take here and try to fortify this bishops here. Thanks for the follow, Hunger Guenstler. Hope I pronounced it correctly. Okay, let's go knight e7 back, preserve the knight in hand. He's trying to make me go knight e4, and then he would have taken here and won a pawn. And now maybe I can go knight takes d5 if he takes. Could also opt to take myself. Could also go knight at f5 maybe. But let's just take first, and he probably takes with the knight. Then maybe I could get something going, but he takes with the rook. Alright, that's interesting. Let's see. Okay, let's just I want to be solid here, because I feel like something is going to go down here on the light squares. Pawn h5, for example, may hurt me. So I'm going to go pawn at f7, fortify the g6 square a bit, and if he goes pawn at h5, I'll trade. Yes, and put a bishop on f5. e4 is coming, okay. I'll have to accept that. But I was thinking about counter-attacking with bishop takes g3. If he takes, I have knight at e3. Take the rook, and now the queen can come in with check. And then I'll have a rook in hand. That should count for something. But yes, queen takes d4, bishop at e3 is just solid for white. So probably I should refrain from that move. I guess let's just try b5. Preserve the material, maybe he'll make a mistake or something like that. He can take, I can take c4, he can take here. I can take d3 then. That's looking good for him, but okay, he does go for knight e3. Now I think I should be able to take that. Okay, pawn at h2, setting up a trick. If he takes, queen takes e3, and knight at g4 wins back the piece. But this may not work. King h1. Okay, let's go rook here. Okay, try the same idea. King h1, take, and then knight at g4. He may try knight at h6 then. Looking scary. But I think with the knight covering here and with the knight covering g8, so there aren't any standard knight at h6 and rook at g8, knight takes f7 mates, then maybe I should be fine. Okay, I'll guess we'll find out, because he's going for it. I'm also threatening, of course, to go rook at g1 and promote. And since I don't have any pawns left, it isn't made just yet, but it will be very scary. Okay, let's see. Take with the pawn. First instinct. Let's just go with that. Gotta watch the clock as well. And if he has a forced mate here with rook at g7, then so be it. Okay, rook at h8. Even. I'll have to take everything. Pawn here. Queen here. Probably is enough for him. Yes, it is. Well done. Yeah, I didn't see concrete mate when I went for this line for white, but actually he found it well executed, and it's getting very tense here. Master 10 catching up after that long game by me. And Mugwort has probably secured third place there, but I don't see him getting back at it. Okay, let's preserve Master 10. Let's go all in. Alright, this is... I feel like Master 10 has played this like this before, and I feel like this is very good for white. Okay, he sacks the queen. I guess he can do that. Let's go knight f6 and then take this knight. Okay, or take the two knights. Bishop at f4. Okay, that may be annoying. Okay, he goes knight at f4. I cannot think too long here. Pawn g4, let's just go for it. What does that do? Knight takes e2 is on the line then. That's well executed. Getting the bishop so that the f4 square is a bit more fortified there, as well as maybe bishop takes. g7. Bishop at f3. Ugh. Okay, threatening queen takes mate. Okay, I'm able to get some quick moves out now. Ah, too slow. Okay. Yeah, alright. He deserved to win that one. Probably I had made somewhere there in the end, but yeah, with 3 seconds on the clock, that's not that easy. Okay. So Master 10 taking the lead there. Maybe he'll get caught. Hopefully. Then maybe there will be an exciting finish, but I'll have to win the next few games quickly to get a chance at the first spot. And Neki Pelov has bested me once before. Just go e6 and take with the f pawn. Could also take in with the d pawn, allow the queen trades. Queen d4 would fork these, but then knight takes c2 is on. Threatening to take f2. Castle and get pressure on the f-file here. Okay, let's take f2. Must be good. Can castle with check. Queen h4 can come in with check. Let's castle first. Not allow any queen h5. And I like knight takes c2 here. Lure the queen away from the d4 square. Then I can take d4 with check. And the blocker on e3 does not seem something that you want to do there. If knight takes, bishop f2 might be possible. Or just knight at h5. Bishop f2 just wins the queen, I think. Let's keep it simple. If you take, I can take here with check, and there probably is mate there somewhere. And I'm threatening as well to take here anyway. Okay, let's bring the rook back. Maybe you can just take the queen though. Was banking on queen at f5 to mate, or queen at f2 to mate, but maybe it isn't enough. Okay, he believes me. Okay, I need to pick quickly now. I've messed this up, but still enough chances to win here. Thanks for the follow, 28 Noit. Okay, knight g5 coming. And then bishop at h3. Okay. Thanks for the bits, Joanna. Thanks very much for the support. Mastertan here is getting another win in. So he's 7 points ahead now. But he's playing Firehawk, so let's hope Firehawk gets an upset there. And then I need to win 2 more games. That will be tough in this time left. But we'll see. Let's try to overpower Tratarede Garnat or something like that. But he usually is good at punishing the Berserk. But I will be second anyway, so why not risk it? And okay, he's allowed something already. He's playing it very slow. Let's go with knight e5. Not allowing b5 because then knight c6 probably is annoying. Pawn at h6 next. Okay, e4. Harassing the knights, back to d6 and then e5. Probably the knight comes back to f5, but then knight e4. Have to watch out for this knight takes d4, knight e2 trick. But for now, he will not be able to trade a knight. Okay, let's just trade a bunch of pieces. Try to establish a pawn here. Ooh, maybe I had something nasty there. But okay. Maybe some queen takes d7, knight takes f6 stuff, but probably was nothing. Pawn here, knight takes d5. I have to be aggressive. Try to get a rook, of course. That's the goal here. But also thinking about bishop takes f7 and pawn d6. So probably he has to move the knight, but he doesn't not want to move the knight, of course, because then I can trade queens. Trading a knight here and then knight at h8 is also an option. So he has to be careful, but maybe now knight e5 is possible. And if the knight is covering h8, so a queen trade won't be made then. Let's go with knight at h8. Okay, at least I take it with check. Block the bishop, because knight at f3 was annoying, or pawn at g2, or whatever he would like to play there. Okay, let's go rook e1. And if he drops something on e2, I can take it, I think. It's getting dangerous. Knight h4, for example. Taking the rook. Let's get pawn at e6 in first. So I've spotted bishop f4 comes with check. That's very useful. Then I'll take the bishop, I guess. Pawn at 3 is not a real threat, I can just take that. there is no mates, I think. Yeah, I've well done. All right. Congrats to mastertan. Okay, nice performance. In the end, there, those two games cost me the first place, but overall, I had fun playing this one. And it's getting late here, so I'll end the stream soon, but not before I'll get your attention for another 1-0 Crazyhouse World Championship match, which will be played tomorrow. Chicken Crossroads versus variants only, and I will be able to provide some commentary then. So and probably I will be able to stream some more tomorrow evening. So do try to catch the show tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time. But for now, thanks very much for watching, and I'll hope to see you next time. Have a good day wherever you are. Bye.